motherfuckers! Good morning. How we doing? It's the Doug Rice Show. It's the Doug Rice Show. It's the Doug Rice Show. Hey, it's me. All right, here's the reason I did this shit. It's driving me crazy. I love this. People are going to look at this shit and see nobody's in here. I love it. It's okay. It's okay. I do this shit for posterity. I do it on the fly. I do it when the goddamn feeling hits me, and let me tell you, the feeling is hitting me hard. Folks, what the fuck is going on? What is going on in the minds of these fossils from the 50s? Oh, fey motherfuckers that they are. And for God's sake, please understand, please, Hebrews, brothers, sisters, allies, you know goddamn well which of these motherfuckers I am referring to. They have made themselves quite the spectacle. Now they're putting themselves on display. Oh, dear God. Oh! John Kennedy, Senator Kennedy. Now, folks, let me explain. They got a woman who was born in the old Soviet Union. Now, I'm 56 years old. I remember this time of history. I'm a Reagan baby, okay? I went into service under Reagan. Caspar Weinberger, all of these names that are names from yesteryear, okay? And let me just tell you, life was not cool in the USSR, baby. Let me tell you something. These folks were trying to flee. They had the Berlin Wall over there, folks getting clipped, trying to go through it during this woman's lifetime. And Senator Kennedy, for God's sake, he's got the name of a lifetime, looking as hick and as red-necked as a motherfucker can look. Talking with that country slur so many of us know so goddamned well. Soon as he opens up his motherfucking mouth, you know what this man is about. You know. And the fact of the matter is, as we go through the United Snakes of America facing these motherfuckers every day, and here's one on display. Here he is. Oh, dear God. Let me tell you what he did. If you guys have not missed the spectacle this poor woman had to face was the abject, racist, bigoted, just the horror. I'm looking at this dude. I'm wondering if he's going to strike up a fucking, like, tiki torch or maybe put on a fucking white hood or some shit. Because he goes into mode on this chick, man. And he asked this chick some horrific shit. You got to look at the fucking video. I think I shared it. If not, it's available. Wow. I mean, out and out in your face racist sentiment. And, he asked this woman questions about her upbringing and whether or not she was a member of a youth communist party. And the fact of the matter is, being in Russia, in the USSR at that time, no one had a goddamn choice. You fucking right, you're a member. And then he went so far as to ask if she had written to retract her membership. Little tongue-in-cheek. And then said he didn't know whether to call her doctor or comrade. Now, coming from a person, a member of the GOP, and Russia has so many of these motherfuckers cold, it's ridiculous. The same game they played on Trump, they played on these goddamn senators who all visited Russia in 2013, 2014, 2015. These are facts, motherfuckers. And the same suspected video, audio evidence, blackmail, compromat. The same shit they got on Trump, Trump has on them. Why do you think they're still fighting for this weak, feckless, coward, draft-dodging, narcissistic womanizer? Why are they fighting for this motherfucker so hard, so long after he's been out of office? Because I'm going to tell you something. Trump has the goods on these motherfuckers. Yeah. So they get in front of nominees and they ask the questions that not even, I would say, the worst of the worst would think to ask in public. But there they go. And it's getting worse. Their racist sentiment, the hatred that they have for Negroes, it gets worse. Well, and I'll tell you something. He's looking at this lady. She a Moabite. That's the woman that we're talking about. It's odd that, they do this to an immigrant. They elevate an immigrant to one of the highest, most powerful positions in the country. Yeah, director of currency. Y'all need to check it out. And, not us, right? That aside, I'm sure there are plenty of professors, Negro professors, that are, foundational Black Americans that they could have gotten for that job. But, give it to whoever you want. This shit's going down. They got the lady in front of the guy. And I'm wondering what other immigrants who are trying to press toward this country might think in observing that treatment. And you understand, they're stuck with fucks like John Kennedy now. They're stuck with dumb white men now. Listen, we're not going to split hairs. We're not going to fucking do that. We're going to talk the fucking truth here. And the truth of the matter is, folks, let's not fool ourselves. Okay? Donald Trump is the touchstone. Yeah. Donald Trump is the litmus test for white maleness now. Don't get it twisted. Oh, yeah. Until enough of them wake the fuck up to look at this man for what he is, they put him on a pedestal. He is their goddamn hero now. They love this motherfucker. Loser that he is, they love him. Why do they love losers? I mean, it baffles the imagination. Anyone else with Donald Trump's history, with his pedigree, with his resume, they would certainly look down on. Any person that avoided the draft, called the U.S. military fools for joining, made lascivious comments about his own fucking daughter on television in front of her. These are the white men that are in control now. These are the motherfuckers that are yearning for complete control. And while so many get in their goddamn feelings listening to me talk because they associate themselves with these creatures I'm talking about, and I wish they would not do that. I don't associate myself with the Negroes you accuse of, making Chicago such a wonderful place to live. So why would you associate yourself with the Caucasus behavior we observe growing stronger every single goddamn day? And what's interesting is they look at themselves do this and think no threat is upon them. That's the dynamic that puzzles me. Shit's gonna get real. Their first targets are one another. They're ready to start shooting now. Folks, don't get it twisted. These folks are primed and ready for battle. Let me explain. I hope everybody follows me. Everybody with me? Good morning. Grab some fucking coffee. It's the Doug Rice Show. That's it. It's just the Doug Rice Show. No, let's talk. No, I'm not ready. It's just the Doug Rice Show. Motherfuckers, this is what the fuck it is. Good morning. We'll get to the news in a bit. So, let me explain to you how the Civil War happened. And I need you to understand this. Now, consider this carefully. We got a monstrous clown, a soulless being representing Arizona by the name of Paul Gosar, whose own brother and sister claim he is a sociopath. This is not Doug Rice. This is what I'm staring at them say. His own family says Paul Gosar is somehow a bit well off. And I dig it, right? He's posting, fantasizing about killing women. Okay, right? Okay, so just understand that his depiction of wanting to injure, harm, he wants to do something to OAC. I'm not sure it involves a sword. It may involve something long and hard. I'm sure that's his real fantasy. Yeah, motherfuckers, I said it. But before the Civil War jumped off, folks, and hear me clearly, before it jumped off, they were fighting each other in Congress. Am I reaching you? Am I getting there? There were duels and shit. Motherfuckers want to fight each other. They did it right. And you understand that each of those congressmen, each of those senators, each of those representatives, they stand for thousands upon thousands, if not millions of people. And their sentiment becomes the people's sentiment. As goes the government, so goes the people. Now, here comes the part where you determine what fucking side you're on. Understand what's happening. See, if we choose a side, Democrat, Republican, you're fucking finished. Because each side seems to want to cancel one another. They anticipate some activity as yet unseen. I don't know what they're so excited about. I've said it before. Nothing that Negroes have done has changed. We have not changed our course. I'm so fucking sick about hearing supposedly this thing in Chicago. That's what they accuse all of us. That's their go-to. Meanwhile, they're running terrified into the night away from something I don't see pursuing them, except time. Time seems to be pursuing them. I'm not accusing them, but they seem frightened of something oncoming. Uncaused by us, for sure. Off note, they seem to have discovered in the center of the galaxy a barrier that prevents something from going in its center. I don't know why I brought that up. I just read it. Good morning, 8/22, 19th of November. Are you ready for the ritual of sacrifice? Are you ready for Thanksgiving, folks? Are you going to celebrate the bullshit? Are you going to do that? Are you going to join with the oppressor in their arrival here and the beginning slaughter that ensued? I just wonder what natives do on this day except spit on the ground. What are you going to do? How many of you are going out running to get fucking turkeys? I don't give a fuck. Don't tell me Happy Thanksgiving, please. Don't tell me Merry Christmas. Fuck you. Please do not ever wish me a happy Halloween. Shove that demonic shit up your fucking ass. No Happy New Year. I do not need Janus looking back or forward. Fuck off. Don't tell me Happy Easter. God Ashtar can kiss my whole entire ass. I do not celebrate pagan nonsense. I do not celebrate the oppressor's activities. So, you guys ready for Thanksgiving or what? All right, so black news. What's going on in the world? Well, let's see. I don't know. I did some research on this case. This guy walking around shooting people. The two guys he killed, the white guy there, and the dismissal of that weapons possession charge. may bode unwell for him, as the jury really has no other way to go. But then, suddenly, new evidence, high-def video, instead of the grainy shit, was available, kept from the defense. That is a travesty. I don't give a fuck if the Planet of the Apes was chasing this young man in the middle of the street. He shouldn't have had his ass there in the first place. Everything that happened to him afterwards is his fucking fault. And the deaths are his responsibility. Give him life. Done. I mean, hey, you know, I understand you may have had to shoot for your life. Had you not had your life there in the first place, you would not have had to shoot anyone. Go the fuck to jail. Have a good day. All right, how we doing? Good morning. All right. Oh, man, TikTok fucked me over, just letting you know. Bronze the God, they just said, hey, till the 22nd, you're no one. And I'm like, hey, I needed a week off anyway, and then all this was pent up. Then I started paying attention to what they're doing, what they're saying, where they're going. You folks better be 100% clear in where you stand on this shit. Don't get caught up. They're going to confront every Negro in this country and demand they choose. How shocked they will be to hear that you choose neither side, nor are you an independent. I'm not independent of shit, motherfucker. I've been bought and paid for. I'm not independent. I'm a theocrat. How about that? If you must know. And even in that sense, there is no vote. There's the Most High and nothing more. There's the kingdom. Full fucking stop. You don't like it? Take it up with the Most High. He'll be here shortly. Oh, yeah. See, I've said this before. There is no path out of the conflicts we are surrounded by without conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Hebrews, hear me this early morning. I've taken a look at the terrain. I've noticed the trajectory of each of the conflicts that we face that are most pressing, the ones that are in front of me the most, the ones I seek out. And across the playing field, in every respect, there is no escape. We are headlong into conflict that will involve bloodshed. Dear God, help us all. And let me tell you, that is exactly what will occur. And here's the deal. It's not some fatalist. I'm not talking about some chariot in the sky that's going to come rescue us. All that bullshit. Stop. Be reasonable. God is not a God of confusion. He's a God of order. All you have to do is look at the reflection of the creation put in place by the hand of God. And let's just get real. We're in very little control of anything. I don't understand why everybody's getting so in their goddamn feelings. I mean, you don't control the autonomic systems of your very body, much less the movements of the sun and stars. And meanwhile, motherfuckers are getting all vigorous about what's what and who's who on this little fucking rock. God is coming to put an end to this madness, motherfuckers. You better count on it. I put it on my Twitter, pretty plain, pretty simple. Here it is. They wouldn't be fighting so hard to prevent what's coming if certain defeat was not in order. Do you understand me? Think of that. Think of how hard they have pushed toward this fight against whatever. Can't really put my finger on it, but okay, something's coming. They have ratcheted up the pressure to get prepared. And in observing that activity, I've come to the conclusion they are already defeated. They're finished. There's no hope. Let them get as vigorous as they want. It's a wrap. They're getting too prepared. They're too scared. They're too terrified. They're too unreasonable. They're doing crazy, stupid shit. they're lost. It's done. It's over. Negroes, go over here, sit down, grab yourself some coffee, pray to the Most High, stay in your homes and out of the shit. Good morning, motherfuckers. You don't, I know you, yeah, okay, you know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling, come on, man, stop. It's like we're in this current of activity, right? And a few of us Hebrews know to kind of look up to see above the terrain and see we're headed for a fucking cliff. So we're trying to just kind of deftly make our way out of the crowd and out of the current towards certain goddamned destruction. Yeah, let me go ahead and just pardon me, all the fucking way until you're out. Whew, wow. Because they are headed directly for a train wreck, and we all fucking see it. Now, if in the point in time you're trying to leave, trying to steer clear, there is resistance toward your exit, then stop being fucking polite. You know, some shit you have to demand be kept out of your goddamned face. And you know I'm telling the fucking truth. Folks, let's not play. Some shit they shove and push upon you, and you have to get real with motherfuckers about the nonsense at work, at home, in the street, your family. Sometimes you just got to throw the gauntlet down and let it sit. And in this respect, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Hebrews all across the world, I'm telling you, the target is us. Eventually, finally, in all certainty, without doubt, they want their hands on us. They've worked too hard to keep us where we are if it weren't important that we remain. Good morning, motherfuckers. How you doing? Okay, Doug Rice, irreverent as usual. I refuse to comply. I will not cooperate. I'm not going to be nice. No, fuck that. No. Here's the deal. I don't want these motherfuckers looking at me and thinking for a goddamn moment I'm going to be confused with a minister or, you know, somebody looking for a flop. Fuck you. Go about your fucking business. I'm reading the news. I'm telling you what I see. I want you to take that information, check it, check my math, make your own assumptions, your own conclusions. I beg only one thing. If you have to be out there, just get the goddamn grins off your fucking faces. That's all. That's all. Point A, point B, determination, decision, purpose. No question. I'm not looking for an answer. I don't need help. I'm not looking for directions, and I don't have to fucking smile. Now, I'm sorry if I'm not playing ball, telling jokes, dancing, singing, fighting, whatever entertains you folks. I'm sorry that's not what I'm doing at this very moment in time. I have things to do. You tuned in, and it's an early morning show. All right. So what are we talking about? What's happening in the news today? Black news. Let's see. I'm Doug Rice. That's why you're here. 8:33 in the morning. If I'm not mistaken, it is, and I do believe I am right, it is Friday. For goodness sake, folks, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The turkey preparation should be, I guess, under full swing. Okay, so verdict coming for Kansas City officer in black man's death. Interesting. 3 hours ago, reported by ABC News. A judge is set to issue a verdict in the case of a white Kansas City, Missouri police officer charged in the fatal shooting of a black man in 2019. So, judge was set to rule Friday after the trial of a white Kansas City, Missouri police officer charged with involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a black man. Officer Eric de Vallenarke. Eric de Vallenarke. Austrian, German, yeah. Right from around that area. Fully charged with the hatred he has for us generally, naturally, inherently. Charged with armed criminal action in the death of Cameron Lamb, 26. Shot while backing into his garage, December 3rd, 2019, after police said he chased his girlfriend's convertible in the stolen pickup truck. They were having a fucking domestic fight. I'm not reading anymore because, well, I got to keep it 100. But, of course, as you know, it goes on the Twitterverse. It goes right there. You folks feel free, just another back seat position to cases that take front seats like Ahmaud Arbery's. But as you can see, the consistency in murdering us is truly prevalent in this society. And yet we can maintain and continue to go about this penal colony for Negroes as if nothing is happening. All I'm saying is perhaps we should be cautious in our walk. All right. So there's that bit of news from ABC. Hopefully that turns out as we don't expect it. So Black News Hour. They have something called the Black News Hour in Boston. That's fucking needed. You guys heard yesterday I was talking about the black pastors that rally outside the trial over Arbery's killing. Again, ABC News reporting this. Again, suggested that perhaps now be the time at that point that the congregation crack open a Bible, start reading it for themselves. And I'm not talking about just any Bible. I'm talking about the complete, the unabridged, the unaltered, unaffected versions, those with Maccabees and Enoch and these other books that they've conveniently removed. But black pastors rally outside. This, of course, as a result of the, wow, the lawyer doing his job. I mean, let's just go there. The lawyer did his damn job. He jaded and just disrupted with a comment that caused, action. Now they've got hundreds of black pastors, a good reason for, shall we say, appeal if the child gets convicted. And hey, let the beat go on. 10-year-old black girl from Utah, Izzy. Good Lord, folks, the monstrous necessity of having to read what's happening to us. Here we are. From Black News Nationwide, Isabella Izzy Faith Tichenor, 10-year-old black girl from, of all places, Salt Lake City, Utah, found dead after hanging herself. So, listen, folks. Listen. Sometimes you look at things for what they are. Now, this child's surrounded by individuals who have a belief that black people are cursed. This is the belief that the parents of the children that harassed this black child that killed herself, these are the ideas, the ideations, not only the ones that they hold, the ones that they hold fucking dear. Because when you believe something behind religious connotation, let me tell you, you believe that shit. Right? And I can't even imagine the kind of abuse, the kind of mental abuse that this child suffered at the hands of these monsters raised by monsters, which would cause one of us to then decide to kill ourselves at the tender age of 10 fucking years old. And these people will swear up and down that they are children of God. God damn it. See, here's the thing. It's a collective ideation. It's a collective essence. It's a collective energy that's permeating this society against us and those that resemble us and those that remind us of ourselves to these people. In other words, if they look at a person of color and their aggression is somehow stimulated, it's only because they remind them of Negroes. And I said that yesterday. I'm not going to back down from that. OAC's abuse from this monster, this Paul Gosar, who is sexually a frustrated an individual as I've ever seen one, looks at this attractive woman, and because he can't fuck her, he has fantasies of killing her. What's wrong? Oh, y'all don't like that I just say shit for what it is and not hold back, because that's what that's all about. Gosar looks at that chick who looks him in the eye and tells him to go fuck himself while he thinks about, screwing her. And because he's so frustrated with the idea and thought that he will never in his wildest dreams even look at a woman like that in real life, naked, he decides to create some sort of sick fantasy involving her murder and the use of something long and hard. Hey, whatever floats your boat, Paul, you make it work. I mean, you got censored for this shit, but how do you feel? And after he got censored, here's what happened. Before he got censored, he took the shit down. After he got censored, he put the shit back up, then put it back down. Then his brother got on TV and said the dude's a sociopath. This is who we have representing us here. And this is what's representative of the entire group of them in that particular place. They all share the same fetishes, the same practices, the same beliefs. It's not a coincidence that Marjorie Taylor Greene was elected to public office, as she fantasizes about killing people of color who remind her of Negroes who serve with her, unpunished. And you wonder why I suggest we remove ourselves from the fucking madness. Had you not ran for office and had your black asses up there in the first place, you probably wouldn't have some crazed blonde woman fantasizing and shooting you with a high-powered rifle. Epitomize that in a fucking meme. I mean, do you understand? All we need to do is stay the fuck out of traffic. That's all. For Negroes who get their lives threatened in doing what they feel is in the best interest of a country that has rejected them from day one, you get what you fucking came there for. All the death threats, all the things that put you ill at ease. And then you have the nerve to get in front of a camera and complain that you're receiving these threats. You have absolutely no business up there in the first place. We, as Negroes, as those who associate themselves with Hebrews, have no business in this mess whatsoever. I don't give a fuck. It was all designed to house us. The very thing that we have Representative Clark up there for, talking about racism, is gone. He's involved in that apparatus designed to keep us enslaved, built for that very purpose, and has the audacity to announce in front of cameras that racism is no longer a thing. Seems like racism is a thing in this country. And as long as it remains a thing, because it cannot be any other thing, we as Negroes have the obligation to remove ourselves from the attitudes it carries. Stop imploring this country to change. By John Kennedy's reasoning, it will never change. By what we've seen reflected in time with civil war, these folks fighting one another over ideology and belief and course of a nation stolen by a people oppressed and kept confined within it. I don't even know what to say, except come out of her. Get out of this shit. Democrat, Republican, Independent, get out of it all. We have no place in this shit. We have as much place here as they do. And if you want to know what I'm alluding to, ask the natives. All the things that these folks fight to protect, all the things that they and it's for nothing, because the end result will be, the destruction of this country, along with the destruction of all those nations in opposition to the approaching kingdom of God. It all boils back and down to the kingdom. But you tuned in for that. All right, so thanks again, tuning in, Doug Rice. I'm sorry, racially bullied. She was racially bullied. Coming back, and I'm looking at a picture of young Isabella Faith. And here's I'm done getting outwardly, expressively upset about this in front of our oppressors. We need to minimize the reporting of this. Our reaction to this needs to be kept to ourselves. We don't need to talk about how we feel regarding this act to them as if their understanding how we feel will contribute to the lessening of the activity that caused this woman's suicide. I don't need to explain to you how the effects of this young lady's suicide permeates the Black community and how enraged we are that it happened. Fuck you. I'm done with that shit. First, it's not healthy. Second, maybe we should start homeschooling our children now. Yeah. Perhaps it's time we need to keep our children out of the public school system so that we can control what our children are taught, how they are treated. The staff can be scrutinized, made sure they reflect us. I'm sick of reading kids being bullied in school by these racist motherfuckers, being raised by racist motherfuckers that are making a real showing these days. Our children suffer far more than is reported. When you hear about petitions for slavery, when you hear about the teachings of the Constitution being the only thing keeping us from being enslaved, when you hear about white supremacy being the topic of the day in this fucking place, let me tell you something, folks. It's time to recess. Make your own decisions, your own conclusions. Be as independent in your ideations as possible and scrutinize everything you hold dear. I mean that shit, because I think everything's in question. Since January 6th, everything's up for grabs. Oh yeah. I'm done with this shit. I'm done pretending. I'm done. We have an obligation to pay attention to what's going on. We still can go about our lives, work our jobs, do the things that we need to do till kingdom come, but our focus must be on the kingdom, because look at what the fuck is happening to us. If you think these people are going to stop themselves, you're wrong. Here we go. Another day, Friday, and I'll probably do something tomorrow too. It's moving me. If you look at my Twitter, if you follow Senator Kennedy, a perfect example of the openness of racist, bigoted, hateful white males these days. They're open about their hatred now. They really are. They're now, it's an expressed, acceptable attitude to have. And they're getting bolder, aren't they? And they're getting dangerous. And they're telling you that they're dangerous. Let me explain. They voted for this package that Biden put together, 12 of them, 13, 12, whatever. And now they've gotten death threats. They're getting death. I've listened to the recordings. First, we know who's making the recordings because only they are moved to do such things, to call and leave death threats. And I've heard some horrific, disgusting shit come out of the mouths of these creatures. And with the same mouth, you know, it's thought that we're the danger, that black people are so dangerous. I don't understand it. Black people aren't calling up congressmen and threatening them because of passing a fucking bill. I don't get that shit. That just, I mean, it's right up there with, you know, being driven past and the N-word being yelled at you as you walk down the sidewalk. That's possessive of only a specific group. And here we are in the middle of it. So the gerrymandering of Georgia. So I don't know if you guys understand this. Galveston, Georgia, a racist redistricting effort that eliminates the single black representative there. This is why I say it's futile. Walk away from it. But you want to do it? Watch them stamp it the fuck out. Jim Crow back in Galveston. And I said that they're silencing voices they've never heard in the first place. I don't understand what you so. And those three white men that stood behind the Galveston the hearing for the community, they sat there, and I looked at them without doubt. They had no intention of changing their course. They had no regret, no understanding of the situation. They didn't give a fuck. I mean, and it was so open. They listened to the complaints and went on about their goddamn business. And that's what they're doing. That's what they are doing. That is the order of the day. And for any of us to fight against what only the Most High God will defeat, to me, is just an exercise in futility. I won't do it. Let them do what the fuck they want. Let them do what the fuck they want. Stop complaining. Yo, they're being unfair. They've been unfair for 400 years. And you know what you have to show for it? Juneteenth, motherfuckers. Enjoy. So, and again, voting. This is all about motherfuckers voting. I want to give a little bit of insight. We know when the first vote occurred. First vote occurred on top of a mountain involving rebellion. I don't need to vote for shit. All right. As you can hear, I'm about to lose my voice, so I better calm the hell down. 17 people here. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Doug Fresh, Island Encounters. How you doing? Daisy, what's up? I am just trying to get, Daisy, I'm just trying to get through to all of us just for a moment in time. Take it seriously. Look at it for what it is, just for a minute. Go on about your business till kingdom come. But don't be fooled by the grins and smiles. Don't do that. Don't be, listen to me. We're grinning at them and they're grinning at us, and meanwhile their children are driving hours to commit suicide. Get that fucking grin off your goddamn faces. All right, 8:53, and we'll work out. I just had to. You just log on. Oh my God, I can't keep it up. It's only 44 minutes of this, and my voice is about to go. And you do want to see and hear me later, because more shit is happening, and I got to study up. You guys, please follow me on Twitter at RugDicer. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me here. Get announcements when I do this shit. Support me on Patreon, Doug Rice, and RugDicer, $. Only because, I've had to do this full time along with a few other things I do to survive. But this is just pulling me, and there's a lot to report. But I can't lose my voice. All right. You guys have a good morning. Have a good weekend and Sabbath is just in a few. Good morning.